My brother's best friend confessed his feelings for me, and when my brother found out, he became toxic and tried everything to separate us, but his own girlfriend exposed his real reason for keeping us apart. I, 24F, never thought my life would turn into such a mess because of my older brother Tyler, 27M, and his best friend since childhood, Ethan, 26M. Growing up, Tyler and I were close. He was protective but never overbearing, always looking out for me without being controlling. Ethan had been part of our lives for as long as I could remember, practically living at our house during high school and college breaks. Ethan was always kind to me, but I never thought much of it. He was just Tyler's best friend, someone who was around for every family barbecue, every holiday gathering, every major life event. He would help me with my math homework when Tyler was too busy, drive me to school when my car broke down, and always remembered my birthday even when other people forgot. I just saw him as an extension of my family. Things started changing about a year ago when I moved back home after finishing my graduate program in psychology. I had been living across the country for 3 years, building my career and establishing my independence. When I came back, I noticed Ethan looking at me differently. There were lingering glances, small gestures of kindness that felt more personal, and conversations that went deeper than they ever had before. At first, I dismissed it. Ethan had always been thoughtful, and I figured I was just reading too much into normal friendly behavior. But then came the night that changed everything. Our families had a joint dinner at my parents' house, something we did occasionally since Ethan's parents and mine had become close friends over the years. After dinner, I went out to the back porch to get some air, and Ethan followed me out. He stood there quietly for a moment, and I could tell something was weighing on him. Then he told me he had feelings for me. He said he had been holding back for years out of respect for Tyler, but seeing me again after 3 years made him realize he could not ignore these feelings anymore. He explained that he understood if I did not feel the same way, and he would completely respect my boundaries. He just needed to be honest with himself and with me. I was stunned. I had never considered Ethan in a romantic way, but as he spoke, something shifted inside me. All those small moments over the years suddenly took on new meaning. The way he always made sure I felt included in conversations, how he defended me when Tyler's other friends made jokes at my expense, the genuine interest he showed in my studies and career goals. I realized that maybe I had been suppressing my own feelings because he was Tyler's best friend and that relationship felt sacred. I told Ethan I needed time to think about it. He completely understood and said he would give me all the space I needed. Over the next few weeks, I found myself thinking about him constantly. I started noticing things I had overlooked before, like how his eyes lit up when he talked about his work as a mechanical engineer or how patient he was when explaining complex concepts to me. I began to see him as more than just my brother's friend. We started texting more frequently, casual conversations at first but gradually becoming more personal. He would send me articles about psychology research he found interesting, and I would share funny stories from my new job at a counseling center. We met for coffee a few times, always in public places, and those conversations felt effortless and natural. I was falling for him, and it terrified me because I knew how complicated this could become. After about 2 months, I decided to give this a real chance. Ethan and I started dating, but we agreed to keep it private until we were sure this was serious. We both knew Tyler's reaction could be intense, and we wanted to be certain about our relationship before bringing the inevitable family drama into it. For 3 months, we kept our relationship secret, stealing moments together when Tyler was at work or busy with his girlfriend Emma. Those 3 months were some of the happiest of my life. Ethan was thoughtful, attentive, and made me feel valued in ways I had never experienced before. He remembered small details about my preferences, supported my career ambitions, and treated me like an equal partner. We talked about everything from our childhood memories to our future goals. I knew this was real and worth fighting for. But secrets have a way of coming out. Tyler found out about us in the worst possible way. He came home early from a work trip and walked in on Ethan and me having dinner at my apartment. We were not doing anything inappropriate, just eating takeout and watching a movie, but the way Ethan had his arm around me made it obvious we were more than friends. Tyler's face went from confusion to anger in seconds. He demanded to know what was going on, and when Ethan tried to explain, Tyler cut him off. He started yelling about betrayal and how Ethan had violated their friendship. I tried to calm him down, explaining that we had genuine feelings for each other and this was not something casual or disrespectful. Tyler would not listen. He told Ethan to get out of my apartment and said he never wanted to see him again. The next day, Tyler came to my apartment and demanded I end things with Ethan. He said it was weird and wrong for me to date his best friend, that Ethan had taken advantage of his position in our family, and that I was being naive about Ethan's intentions. I was shocked by how intense his reaction was. This was not the protective brother I knew, this was someone I barely recognized. When I refused to end the relationship, Tyler's behavior became increasingly toxic. He started showing up unannounced at my apartment, calling me at all hours to argue about Ethan, and sending long text messages about how I was making a huge mistake. He told our parents about the relationship, framing it in a way that made Ethan look manipulative and predatory, even though Ethan had been nothing but respectful. Our parents were confused but tried to stay neutral. They knew Ethan well and had always liked him, but they also did not want to see their children fighting. My mom tried to mediate, suggesting we all sit down and talk things through calmly, but Tyler refused. He said there was nothing to discuss and that Ethan needed to stay away from his family. Tyler began a calculated campaign to separate us. He told mutual friends that Ethan had been secretly pursuing me for years while pretending to be his friend, painting him as dishonest and opportunistic. He convinced some of our extended family members that Ethan was manipulating me, playing on their protective instincts. He even contacted my workplace, claiming he was worried about my judgment and whether I was emotionally stable enough to counsel clients. The workplace incident was especially humiliating. My supervisor called me in for a meeting, concerned about a call she had received from someone claiming to be my brother. She said he had expressed worry about my recent behavior and decision-making. I had to explain the entire situation, assuring her that this was a personal family conflict and had nothing to do with my professional capabilities. She was understanding but clearly uncomfortable with family drama bleeding into the workplace. Ethan was devastated by Tyler's reaction. He had considered Tyler his closest friend, someone he trusted with everything. He tried reaching out multiple times, sending messages explaining his intentions and how much he cared about both Tyler and me. Tyler blocked him on everything and told other friends that Ethan was harassing him. Ethan's reputation took a hit as Tyler spread his version of events, making Ethan look like someone who betrayed a lifelong friendship for a romantic conquest. Despite all this, Ethan and I stayed together. We decided that if our relationship could survive this much opposition and stress, it was worth fighting for. But the constant attacks from Tyler wore on both of us. Every family event became tense, every mutual friend had to pick sides, and the joy we found in our relationship was constantly overshadowed by Tyler's hostility. Things got worse when Tyler started involving Emma, his girlfriend of 2 years. Emma had always been friendly with me, and I thought she might be a voice of reason. Instead, she began joining Tyler in his campaign against my relationship. She would post vague social media messages about fake friends and people who betrayed trust, clearly directed at Ethan. She started excluding me from girls' nights with our friend group, saying she did not feel comfortable having me around anymore.